forgot to show, but I did do a light. You can see there's actually a new one here. Essentially what I did was I took the same ones that I have over here in this drop ceiling. Like you can see this one here. I took that and literally took the box that was out, put everything inside of the box that it comes with the light, and installed it in there. So we got that done today. I also got this wall. Everything is sanded and primed, so that's ready to go for paint. And now, I was starting to look at painting the windows here. I'm not too happy with, trying to do white. So I think what we're going to end up doing is not do white, but I think I'm going to go with that light gray that I have on the mantle and on the stairs. I think we're going to put that around these windows also. But that's the update for today. Okay, you can see I got the windows all sanded down, ready to go. All the holes have been filled. So those are going to get painted. I got some of these seams filled just to help fill it in a little bit so those grooves aren't that deep so it doesn't look too much like paneling. That's all prepped. That's all primed. All the holes over here have been filled. I even got the corner fill strip in. And then while I was taking that out, there was actually a thermostat here that used to run for the gas stove. But it's actually pretty neat because I took it out and yeah, there's a little bit of liquid mercury in that switch. So everything is now sanded and dried. You can see this is actually scuffed up some now, so the paint will stick to that better. And I actually sanded all the way across everything here, and also did that wall, sanded all the drywall spots and everything on there, and got that all sand so the paint will stick better. So next step, paint. So it's a little difficult to see with the backlighting from outside, even though it's gray and overcast, but you can see these are all primed, and that's primed. Over there is actually painted, and I got the first coat of gray on the windows. All right, so you can see we've gone ahead and I'm starting to empty everything off the bar. So now we're gonna go ahead, work on this top and sanding this. All right, got this all done. So you can see it all now. It's all nice and down to bare wood again. I got all sides done. All right, so you can see I got the coat of polyurethane on there now. So I just gotta let this finish drying, go over with some steel wool to make sure it's nice and smooth, and probably do another coat, but that's what we used. All right, got everything out of the cabinets. Got the sink disconnected, everything's ready to come out, but it's stuck to this top. These edges are really sharp, that's why the gloves. So we got all this off, got the sink out, we got that up here. I'm gonna reuse that, get that all cleaned up. All right, went ahead and got the stuff off the top also. You can see there's some around the edges. There's still some on here, but I noticed here, it's actually overhangs it. So what I'm gonna end up doing is going through with the multi-tool and actually cut this edge all the way around. All right, so it's all cut off. All the edges are cleaned up. Now I just gotta come back through here. I'll get the broom and a vacuum and clean this all up. Got this much of the top done. So you can see we're going around. I still have to do down inside here and all this, but we got it. Good start. Just wanted to show that I did get the inside here off. That was actually this, what we call the zebra stripe siding that we used to have a bathroom completely done in that. Okay, the one side is done all the way up around. Now we just gotta get this side done. All right, so I got the sink part cut out here. I got this already dry fitted. The sink fits good in here. So we're gonna wrap it up for the night here. And you can see I got basically everything on. The only thing I'm gonna have to find is another kind of trim to go around this here. All right, so we're back to it today. Getting more done on the bar. Going ahead and I'm going to be making some cabinet doors here out of some old cabinet doors. All right, so you can see I got this groove cut in. So this groove is going to be where this groove is going to be where the cabinet face touches down inside there. So from here over, all this is just going to get cut off. All right, so we got the big one done now. Essentially what we did was we put it on here with it running, and just this will only let us go so far, which would be up to this edge. So literally taking the board and kind of going back and forth the whole time as we're going across it. All right, so now you can see I got the edge sanded on there. And what we're gonna do now is I already started hitting some of this with the sander, but I wanna get all of these doors sanded down before I go any farther with them. All right, so these are all sanded down now. They're ready to go for the paint. All right, so we got everything sanded. The shelves are out, everything is cleaned up. All right, show you an easy way that we can figure out how to do this papering. Because we're gonna be putting a trim piece across this bottom, so it doesn't have to be exact. So what I do, get this, run it all the way to the top edge, just pull it down, and then run your fingers with your nails across the edge, and it gives you a line that you can cut with. So I got that all up. I mean, this is just over here is gonna get painted, because like I said, the fridge is gonna be sitting there. So the flooring still has to get done yet. All right, so you can see we do have the paper up from the last time. I went ahead and got the first coat on the doors, and I got the first coat inside the cabinets too. It's actually gonna be two-tone. So it's gonna be a lighter gray inside and this darker stuff outside. So that way it matches the stairs. All right, now the shelves are done. These are ready. As soon as the paint dries, I can get these put back in. All right, I just got the shelves put back in. All right, so I'm gonna let these sit for a day or two, let these, actually cure. And I can see I got a little light spot on the door face I need to touch up. And then I'm gonna have to go back over this because the first coat is still wet of the white. All right, so I've actually been doing a little bit of work here, and you can see I got the cabinet doors on now. So the only thing I gotta do yet is I'm gonna have to go through and put the little latch that I just dropped, basically the little magnetic things, up underneath, and then the little metal plate, which are these, under the door, just to give them some so they, stay shut all the way. All right, so I've been perplexed on what to do with this edge, because with this tiling, it's sharp. And this style of metal, I've come to find out, is actually, you can only get this in older homes or special order. So I'm running out of things to come up with to try to put around this edge that goes all the way around the bar. So what I came up with was this stuff. It's actually it's foamy, and it's actually for basically baby proofing. I'm gonna go through with alcohol wipes, wipe down this entire edge, the inside of here too, because it comes with basically double-sided tape to fasten it. This first strip is all wiped down with the alcohol. This was wiped down, and I put the layer of tape on the inside here. So now I'm gonna peel the tape, and this is gonna get stuck in here. So all right, so I got the first one down, and I did go through with the roller and actually make sure everything is mashed down in there good. All right, just wanted to show, in this little 3-foot section, you can see how much dirt I got onto this little bitty wipe just from wiping off that strip and that one edge on this counter. So that's why it's important, because you can see all that would keep it from sticking the tape. All right, last one is done. That one actually came out really straight. I like the look of that. So now I don't have to worry about those sharp edges anymore. And you can see I got this piece cut out, this piece cut, and actually these down ones trimmed for this to fit in. But now I got to go across this back, and the stuff that I was using is actually a little too thick. So this is being a little too thick. If I were to go down here, you can see I'm on top of the sink. So I found this stuff that was actually a little bit thinner. So this is what I'm going to utilize to go back behind here. All right, so they're all cut, sitting in place. Now I just got to go ahead, I'm going to pull these back out, and then we'll get them painted. All right, got the 3 pieces painted here. You can see I'm painting them to try to match the rest of the metal trim. So we do have this Krylon metallic paint that actually I already had in my little collection of just random stuff. All right, now you can see what I mean. I didn't do this corner yet so I can show you, but when I go around, I'm basically just following the edge. I use the blue tape back here because it's thinner than this masking tape. But word of wisdom, when you're doing this, have a little spot where you can make a pool. So just double it under to make it easier to lift this stuff up when you go to peel it back off in the end. All right, so you can see we got a nice bead all the way around this. So now what we're gonna do is basically flip it upside down, put it in its spot. All right, so essentially, now that we have all that goo on there, we're gonna put this and get it down in our spot because we have it marked. And you can see it's in there now, but you can see how some of it is starting to ooze out. It's gonna be even more once I get the weights put on. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and start putting some of our weights in here. And this will help make it bond down to the counter. So you can see we're starting to ooze out all over around it. All right, I just went ahead and got this all wiped off. Now we go back and we actually remove our tape from around it. So that way we have nice clean edges all the way around it. So this works especially well if you're doing like a colored caulk, like if you're doing say white around it, but this stuff was clear. So you can see right here, I have a nice clean edge all the way around it. All right, so now we're gonna get these fastened in. All right, and then just this last one. Voila, all the trim is on now. All right, little update. Been doing some work, forgot to get it recorded, but you can see I got the drywall started here. I got one cross. These are more of, these aren't braces. These are just for support to hold the drywall edge. And I did get some insulation and put all the way across the whole thing. This is just really thin stuff. I don't have this for insulation factor, more of just for sound deadening. So it doesn't sound like a drum when you're walking down the steps. So I'm gonna continue with this. All right, got the drywall all done. Everything's on there. Now I just gotta go back and do my joints. All right, you can see you got all the drywall on, and I got the first layer of mud done here for the joints. Didn't realize I didn't have any more tape, seam tape, so I did end up using some more paper, newspaper for this. But I did go through and got the edges trimmed up. Because like I said, we're gonna be using essentially an L-style bracket to go around this. So that way, that's all you're gonna have is just that little trim coming up through. And that trim is gonna basically tie in with the staircase as far as color. But I can see I need to go through and clean it up a little bit where I got some of the drywall on it. But I think now I'm gonna go ahead and start painting the white. All right, got the second coat on here and down there at the seam and all the nail holes. So now all we gotta do is let this dry. I'll probably give it a light sand, look for any low spots, fill it in, and we can paint. All right, you can see I got, well, this was sanded, and then basically the first coat of paint has been put on here, so that way this will match. And what I'm gonna do is actually a contrasting corner piece going all the way down this, so that way it'll give a little definition. So if you go to walk through here, it'll catch your attention and you won't hit your head on it.